driver's test in Washington State, Spokane. Driving examiner's done the pre-trip inspection around the vehicle. I'll put a video up in the corner for you on the pre-trip inspection that the examiner is going to do. Gets in the vehicle, make sure that you have the air conditioning on in the summertime, heat on in the wintertime. So the 3 secondary controls that you'll need to know for the purposes of your driver's test: air conditioning, defrost, windshield wipers, work and squirt, and headlights, high-low beams. That's what you need to know for the purposes of your driver's test for secondary controls inside the vehicle. Your mirrors are adjusted because you showed up. You did a pre-trip inspection the night before on your vehicle and you cleaned it out, got all the stuff under the footwells, all the garbage, cleaned it up, because you don't get a second chance to make a first impression on your driver's test. Passenger side seatbelt works and the seat works. Examiner has got in, they've given you their little spiel that they're going to give you clear directions well in advance. They're not going to try and trick you, follow the laws and road rules. Okay, they've told you to go left out of the parking lot, so we release the parking brake, apply the parking brake every time you park the vehicle for the purposes of the driver's test. Into drive, foot on the brake, and we inch forward to see clearly. We've got the pickup truck here on the left, signaling left. Okay, shoulder checking, clear on the right, and we're moving out past the truck. 2 hands on the steering wheel and going slow in the parking lots. The examiner has told us to go out the exit and to turn right onto the road. Staying to the right, wide turn here, coming around so we don't hit the curb, we don't drive over the curb. And because we need a bit more room here, we just waited for that truck to go by. Okay, shoulder checking, and we're proceeding. And get the vehicle up to speed as quickly as possible when you're going 30 miles an hour. Examiner has told you to turn right. Shoulder check approximately half a block before the turn. Slowing down, checking the crosswalk, shoulder check immediately before the turn, and scanning the intersection. And checking the intersection, scanning the intersection, scanning this intersection up here. Yellow Corvette approaching. The yellow Corvette has turned in front of us. The examiner has told us to turn left at the next intersection. Mirror signal, shoulder check. No one behind us. Shoulder check immediately before the turn, and we proceed. And the speed limit we saw back there was 25 miles per hour, so we do 25 miles per hour. Scanning the intersection, no one there. Sidewalks are clear, no one on the road. There's a pedestrian coming out to the van there. You see the 4-way flashes on. And the examiner has told us to parallel park next to the white vehicle here. Mirror signal, shoulder check, approximately half a block before that. Pulling up 3 feet. Signaling. Vehicle into reverse to activate our reverse lights. No one behind us. Turning all the way to the right. Facing our 45, which was the mailbox. Back to straight on the steering wheel. We're in, we can see the mirror, looking around, and we turn, bring our steering wheel all the way in, and we've touched the curb. We didn't drive over the curb, so we pull forward. You're allowed 1 pull-up adjustment. Moving forward, we can see the top of the bumper. We stop and put the vehicle into park, and we apply the parking brake. I touched the curb there. I would have been assigned probably 5, maybe 10 points depending on the examiner. We're close to the curb here and we're parked, and we tell the examiner that we're done. The examiner says, okay, they're probably going to open the door, have a look, see how far you are from the curb. If you're more than 12 inches from the curb, they're going to deduct points for that, but I know that we're super close to the curb here. The examiner has told us to leave and put the vehicle into reverse, release the parking brake, looking out behind us. We're backing up about 6 feet into drive. Mirror signal, shoulder check, shoulder checking, steering the steering wheel, making sure we're getting past the vehicle, and we're come back to straight and we proceed. The examiner tells us to turn right at the intersection. There's no stop line, there's no sidewalk. Oh, there's a sidewalk, so we stop before the sidewalk. Stop completely, no pedestrians. We inch forward so we can see past this hedge here, and we proceed. Looking again, shoulder checking, and we proceed. Examiner's told us to turn right here. Shoulder checking, shoulder check again. All your school. Speed limit's 25 miles an hour. And because the road is narrow here, we can go a little bit slower than the posted speed limit here. That is perfectly fine. 2 hands on the steering wheel. Scanning, there's no pedestrians, no other traffic. And as I said, it's perfectly acceptable to go a little bit slower here because the road is narrower, you have confined space. So when you have confined space, it's actually preferable to go a little bit slower. We have an intersection here, there's no one at the intersection, and the examiner has told us no. Just checking there, I got a little confused there on that intersection, and that's okay. If you get a traffic situation you don't understand, then simply stop and figure out what's going on. Okay, no sidewalk, we stop at the edge of the road, proceed forward till we can see. Examiner has told us to turn right, and we drive straight forward. Examiner has told us to turn right at the next intersection. Shoulder checking again, scanning, and proceeding. Pedestrians are good. Shoulder checking, the examiner has told us to turn right, and we proceed. And we have to do a U-turn here at the end of the intersection. So nice and slow, pulling over to the edge of the road, coming to a complete stop. Signal to the left, shoulder checking, no one coming. Pull to the edge of the road, we straighten out the steer tires. Okay, signal to the right, looking right, put the vehicle into reverse, R for race. Okay, turn the steering wheel all this way to that way. Signal to the left, into drive, shoulder checking, and we proceed. And that's our 3-point turn. Scanning, getting up to speed of 25 miles an hour for the posted speed limit. It's an uncontrolled intersection here, so we don't have to come to a stop. Nice and slow. Cyclist is good. And the examiner has told us to go right at the controlled intersection here. Come to a complete stop at the edge of the roadway because there's no sidewalk, no stop line. And looking, checking traffic, shoulder checking, and we're proceeding. Examiner's told us to go right here at the intersection. We can only go right according to the arrow. Stop line here, we stop before the stop line. You can see the sign only says right. We want to get in close to the right side of the intersection. Proceeding forward after we come to a complete stop. Nobody coming, and we proceed. Shoulder checking. The examiner's told us to turn right at the intersection up here. Stopping back in traffic 1 vehicle length, so we can see the tires of the vehicle in front making clear contact with the road surface. We don't put our right signal on yet because it could be confusing on this intersection here. People think you're turning there. So we want to put our signal on here to indicate we're turning at the intersection. Shoulder checking again, and proceeding around the corner, not going into the bicycle lane. Okay, and the examiner has told us to go back into the test center. Air signal shoulder checking again, into the office, nice and slow in the parking lot. And at the end of the driver's test, the examiner is going to get you to back into the parking space. And if you can do this on the driver's side, it's going to be easier. And the other thing that's easier is if you can angle off on a 45 degree, and that's perfectly acceptable for the purposes of your driver's test. Okay, into reverse, check your backup camera, your mirrors. You can use a backup camera. We're looking out this way because we're going this way. Okay, checking your backup camera, looking out through the back. Okay, and I'm straightening my wheels out. And I'm using this car as a landmark beside me, so it's going to be a lot easier. And you want to stop there, right? Oftentimes in test center parking lots, there's going to be a concrete barrier, there's going to be a fence back there. If you hit that concrete barrier, you hit that fence, that's an automatic fail on a driver's test because you struck a fixed object. It's better to stay out a little bit and be deducted a few points than it is to fail automatically for striking a fixed object behind you. So stop a little bit. So we're into park, parking brake on. Examiner said, you're finished. You got between the lines. They may open the doors and look between the to see if the vehicle is between the lines in the parking space. As I said, it's better to park beside another vehicle. That way you have a landmark when you're backing into the parking space. So in Washington State, the maneuvers you need to do is the parallel park, 3-point turn, and backing into a parking space. Be ready with those 3 maneuvers. Too many students do it the wrong way. Okay? They go out, they start driving around up and down the roadways and those types of things, and then they do their parallel parking, their 3-point turns, and backing into a parking space. Do those first. Learn how to back into a parking space, your parallel parking, and your 3-point turn first. And if you want all the details for each one of those maneuvers, look down in the description there, and you can find them there for more details on how to do those slow speed maneuvers, because those will teach you where your vehicle is in relation to other vehicles, road users, and fixed objects on the roadway. And as well, it will teach you mastery of the steering wheel, the brake, and the accelerator, and it will increase your learning curve. So you will learn faster by focusing on those slow speed maneuvers first, as opposed to going out and driving around on the roadway. Take the time, accelerate your learning, and focus on the slow speed maneuvers first, then go out on the roadway and then come back and revisit those. Make sure you do a pre-trip inspection on your vehicle before you show up. If you're going with the driving school, ask your instructor if he or she did a pre-trip inspection on the vehicle. Clean all the garbage out of it. You're not going to go with your instructor when you're with the examiner for your test. Don't have anybody else in the vehicle. Leave Ruffy at home and show up for your driver's test approximately 20 minutes, half an hour before your test. Go in, check in, come out, relax, do some breathing, be ready for your driver's test, and you're going to pass and be successful. And remember, pick up the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great day. Bye now.